Hello there. My name's Gina Gardiner, and I'm an international best-selling author. I have a couple of bestsellers. I'm also an empowerment and relationship coach, and I work with businesses strategically, helping them get the very best out of their people and actually become more profitable and have better work-life balance. I have a very big mission, and my mission is to positively impact on 1 million people within the next 5 years, and I'd be really grateful for your help. I've set myself the challenge of 30 days doing Facebook Lives without interruption. And each day I have a theme. And one of the ways that you can help me is not only to share these if you find them helpful, but also to suggest themes and questions that you'd like covered in future Facebook Lives. I was faced with a situation earlier today which gave me a really stark example of how we can choose to be a victim or a hero or heroine. And that's true for every one of us every day of our lives. We make an active choice. And one of the things I say to my clients is, you are the creator of your own life story. And you can actually write yourself a great part, or you can write yourself the part of the victim, the villain, whatever you want to do. But it was brought home to me very, very clearly today. I was going about my business. Things were going, a perfectly normal day, when the phone went, and I picked up the phone, and a gentleman on the end of the phone said to me, the bailiffs are on the way round to your house, and the bailiffs are coming to collect a debt from you of just under £3,000. Now, I'm not in debt to anybody. I pay my bills, and those of people who I owe will be able to say to you that I pay my bills very quickly. I don't wait the 30 days. So I was really surprised, and I asked him to identify how is this so. Now it turns out that a couple of years I had given money to a charity to support some drug education, the charity Books for Schools, and they had asked me to sponsor some books, which I willingly did, my understanding being that it was actually a one-off payment. A few months later, I was contacted and they said, we're ready now for you to pay for the second instalment. And I said, I think there's been a misunderstanding. This was not, as I understood it, an ongoing thing. I'd given you some money for sponsorship. I'll pay this time, but I'd like you to take me off the list. A few months went by, and this happened again. And then on a fourth occasion, I said to them, that's it, I'm not paying anymore. And I was very unhappy with the charity because I'd not signed up for what they had told me I was in. I felt it was a bit of sharp practice. So when the gentleman said to me, well, actually, you owe this money to Books for Schools, the charity Book for Schools, I was really quite shocked and said, I haven't received any paperwork for this. And he said, well, I'm not sure about that. And I said, well, what can I do about this? And he said, well, you can put in a counterclaim and we can help you do that. Seems to me like that you've got a good case. Your credit rating is very high. Didn't think too much of it because I had been so taken aback, so much put on the back foot by what was being said and how it was being said, that I wasn't quite really questioning him at all at this point. He said, I'll go and talk to the organisation and we'll see what we can do. So I was put on hold and I waited on hold, and then he came back and said, well, you'll have to pay the money and then you can put in a counterclaim. We'll send you the forms and we'll help you do it. No charge. And I again reiterated that I'd not received any paperwork, and this seemed very strange, particularly as I live in a village and I've got a great postman. And if if I'm not here, if it's a recorded delivery or something like that, he brings it back the next day, or there's a note and I go and pick it up at the post office. So he said to me, the only way around it is you pay the money. And if you pay the money, then as soon as you paid the money, you'll get an email to say, that's it, you don't have to do any more, everything is sorted. And we give you that detail over the telephone. And I said to him, no, because by this time I was thinking, if we're going to have a counterclaim, then I need a paper trail. And so I said to him, please email me with the details and I'll pay the money. I was going to pay the money. He said, no, no, no. I said, I'm not going to pay the money unless you give me an email with your header. Can I just clarify your name and the name of the organisation that you work for? He went away again and said, no, there's no way around it. You need to pay us the money. I'll give you the information by direct debit. I said, I'm going to phone Trading Standards. He got quite shirty and said, but the bailiffs are going to be there within 15 minutes. And if the bailiffs arrive, it'll be an extra 30% plus VAT. I said, that may be so. Give me your number. I'll phone you back. And he said, would you like my direct line or the company line? I said, give me both. And he said, oh, I'll give you my direct line. And it was a mobile number. I put the phone down. There was a friend here. She phoned Trading Standards. I phoned the company that was involved. Fortunately, was able to get through to them, and they said they had nobody on the books of that name. Trading Standards said, we think it's a scam. Do not do anything else. Now, that's the first layer where I had the opportunity to choose to be a victim or not. And I chose, and I have to say, it was just something that made me think, I need to have proof of this. I didn't at any time until he started to get shirty because I wanted an email address. I didn't at any time to that point think it was a fraud, think it was a scam. It was only when he insisted that the information should be given over the telephone that I actually decided that there was something not quite right about it. So in that moment, I'd chosen to take control of the situation, to check it out, not to be a victim. And in a way, that's the very simplistic situation. However, when I then spoke to the Trading Standards, they said contact the fraud arm of the fraud action line. I couldn't get through on the telephone. I then had to fill a form in online. A crazy website, very difficult to navigate around. Filled the form in, then having written a report, I got a notice up saying, no, you can't do it in that report, it's too long. You've got to stay within 20,000 characters. However, it hadn't given me that information before I started the report. Another opportunity to feel like a victim to the technology. And then I had the choice as to whether this was going to colour my whole day and leave me feeling unresourced and feeling got at and feeling angry and frustrated. But I made a deliberate decision. I had, in the first instance, avoided being a victim. And I was not going to give those people who have a very different sense of morality to me, I wasn't going to give them any more of my energy. I wasn't going to give them any more of my attention. Because when things happen, it is so easy to become a victim to that situation, taking hold of our whole day or week or month or lifetime. That's our choice. And I wasn't going to tell lots of people the sense of being incensed. And the reason I'm passing this on to you is twofold. One, if you get a phone call of a similar ilk, I hope it will remind you to think about, is this actually right? Is this something which is safe? Do I need to take control of the situation in a different way? And the other is to remind you, it's absolutely your choice whether or not you are a victim to circumstances and you let the initial situation go on and on and on, colouring how you feel, making you feel rotten, making you feel unresourced, or whether you choose to put it in the past. Now, you could perfectly well say to me, well, that was all right, it didn't cost you any money. You didn't give them any money. So in real terms, you're not a victim. And that at one level would be true. But if I had paid the money, that would be because I had made a certain set of choices and there would have been consequences. And in a sense, that I was a victim, would have been a victim to my choice. Nasty things have happened to me before. On one occasion, somebody who I trusted very much. I lent them a lot of money and they went bankrupt and I lost my money. And I had to choose whether or not to let that colour the way I behave. And I chose not to. Every one of us meets circumstances where we can choose to be a victim or not. I chose not to be a victim. I choose to learn from it and let it go. And what I'm urging you to do is, if you're in a situation where you're put in a place where you could become a victim, to make an active choice not to. Now, I'd be really grateful if you would spread this story, not least of which I think it's really important that if you're put in a similar situation, that you will actually take note of my experience and it will help you manage that. So at that level, please share it. But also, how many times do you or people that you know fall into the position of being a victim and let that spoil not just the time in the past when it was happening, but spoil their present and their future? The third level is my mission to help people step into their power, to be truly confident and live a happy and successful and fulfilling life. Please help me with my mission by sharing this, by asking questions, by having a look at the website and seeing what's there, or trying out the Thrive Tribe. It'll only cost you $1. Go onto the website, genuinely-you. You can get a free digital download of my book, Thriving Not Surviving, the 5 secret the 5 secret pathways to happiness, success and fulfillment. And you can find out more about the Thrive Tribe. My aim is to help people step into their power to become the spiritual matriarchs and patriarchs who will then lead their families, their communities, helping us to live a life which has got far more compassion, live a life that's not based in fear and division. So be grateful for your help. Thank you very much for joining with me. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care now. Thank you.